Great morning, everybody. Hey, this is Bishop George walking the Word of God with you on this wonderful Friday morning. Well, Exodus 14 and 13 tells us how Moses told the people that you don't have to be concerned about everything, that because God was going to deliver them. And so this day that he said to them that today that you see, you will never ever see the Egyptians again. And so whatever that you have been facing on this day and whatever you have went through from January to this present day, and the word tells us on today, I got so excited even when I read this passage once again. I know this may not be the end of this year, but I tell you today, whatever you have been facing from January to this present day, the word reminds us on today, everything that you have went through, everything, every challenges, every obstacle, everything that you have made faced with your health, your marriage, your children, your job, this economy, whatever you have faced, whatever thing that you have went through from this present day, you will never ever, you have to deal with it again, because you can look back and say, I won't go through that again. I'm not going to be dealing with that again. I'm not going to be bothered with them. That other things, I'm not going to deal with none of it again, because this day I will never ever have to deal with it again. And so on today, that was so just reminder, so powerful, because what Moses was telling the people this very day, that this fire that I see, that time that I saw it in July, that thing that I went through in January, that thing I went through in February, oh, that very hard time that I was crying my eyes out over that person, that very situation, and when that thing happened to me back in August, that thing that hit me again in October, and it came back again last month, I will never ever see those things again. And I don't care that health scare hit me again. Yes, that thing hit my ministry. I was in lack. My marriage has been so turbulent, and that very thing that hit my household and my children is just being such a been disobedient, and all these things that feel like the adversary trying to come into my household. Those very things would not hit my house again, because those things is over. I would not be bothered with them again, because those things are over. This day is going to be an expiration on my very problems, my very lack. I'm going to live in abundance, because today is my very day. I will never see this day again. It's like I'm going to have my everything is going to be turned around. So today is my day. I will never see this day again. I will never see that very time in March, April. I don't care what happened, because today I will never see it again. And that's what Moses was telling the children of Israel. This day, you will never have to face it again. And so whatever you're facing, you tell yourself, today I will never have to be bothered with that again. I'm going to walk in there and tell them, hey, I got a new attitude. I don't care what you say. I will never have to be bothered with that again. I will never have to be dealing with that again. I'm not going to be bothered with that stuff again, because why? I said to myself, I told them I'm not going to be bothered with that. Hey, you may want to be tripping on that again. I said today I will never have to deal with that again. And so that's what Moses told the children of Israel. I will never have to be bothered with those Egyptians again. And so what is your Egyptians that you said to yourself, hey, I'm not going to be bothered with that stuff again? I have looked back and said, I would not deal with that again. And so Exodus 14 and 13 reminds us of that we won't have to never see that again. And so on today, you say, hey, you an Egyptian, I don't have to be bothered with you again. And so whatever you have to deal with, you say to yourself, I'm not dealing with that again. I'm not facing that over again. No, we don't have to start. This is not December 31st. And so, but today you saying to yourself, I'm not dealing with that again on December the 5th. I'm over it. I'm done with that, because why? I'm not looking back over that again. So God bless everybody on this very Friday. This is Bishop George walking in the Word of God. God bless.